Alpha OneTV, Hana all the latest update in our Sesenko Bia, one subscribing, Bomodian subscribing. We are in a cabo more like a share. I'm a Indian side, any BT nom so keep you updated. Yes, already. Yen fee and in chimney and candy on chimney. At the far Chief Justice, just say suspending or and once and seminar, just say update bar neighbor. Enra yete se osa de injunction akoto committee na mo probe for any removal no or the injunction akoto so despite two cases na Supreme Court ye den ebogu no na sisi no ye nua Martin pebu aba wontia be keka nsemi bi o say Chief Justice no oji still no oji court ni di ayesa kokko no kokpo kokko shrine kokko shrine akosiki for justice. I just say, yes, and get to a shrine woman and go seeking for justice. And yet, Georgie, a year court in the art in second, baby, a corner, and I'm no king who pay. Now, case a betcher say, Godfred, damn it, now I found as a lawyer, no, a money case not say, money case now very, very terrible. I just walk, I say, leak tapes is a wood do a bar for Godfred, damn ni punishment, and I'm quite so banner. And you quite say, could be a quiet Chief Justice Payne. Our officially grants are keen to know. You cause of for beer. Leak tapes I would do one why ye baby punishment or coffin as a lawyer. Into one a taking Godfred Dame as a lawyer, no, I'm the credibility a man just a never be above mamma. I wasting the case in a crowd. You couldn't quit him, acting people in some of the abattoir.
Good. So, number one, it's a sign that she has confidence in the judicial system, okay, or the judiciary to give her justice. Yes, it's a very strong signal that she has confidence that her colleagues on the Supreme Court bench would give her justice. Because if she didn't, she probably wouldn't have gone at all. I was tempted to say she would have gone to the book, but forgive me, let me not even complete it. So, the fact that she's going to court, right, is a strong sign that she believes that the system will give her justice. So, because of that, I mean, let's grant her, it's a constitutional right. And indeed, you find in Article 125 of the Constitution that justice emanates from the people. So, the people give justice, and so when they have issues, they have grievances, they also will go to the court to ventilate their claims. So it's okay. The only thing is that the optics are very bad in her choice of Godfred Dame as lawyer. It's terrible. I mean, I can't believe it. People had made comments earlier on, so I thought the Chief Justice would have taken a cue. You know?
Why?
Godfred Dame was in this Japa tape. Did a lot of unethical things in the Japa tape, was suborning witnesses, coaching a witness to go and lie to the court, asking the witness to get a fake medical report, you know, saying that Ekufado and Ofuriata were on his neck to use the judicial system to prosecute Atuforsen and Japa. All right, so that's persecution, using the judicial system for their own political ends, everything. And the tape is official. It was admitted in evidence in court. So for the rest of Godfred Dame's life, that tape is him. Whether the case goes to the General Legal Counsel or not, whether he is found liable or not, the judge, Justice Efia Sewa Asaribuche, admitted the tape as authentic. So for a lawyer who has done such a thing, and many lawyers are saying he should be sanctioned by the General Legal Counsel, and yet he has so far escaped. The Chief Justice choosing Godfred Dame as a lawyer begins to raise a lot of suspicions. We are like, okay, so is it because of the alliance that Godfred Dame didn't appear for the General Legal Counsel, that Godfred Dame has not been sanctioned? She should have seen all of that. All of that. I mean, and look, trust me, Mr. Walker, other things will come up. Other news and information will come up that will make this choice more terrible than it already appears. So the best for the Chief Justice to do is to disengage Godfred Dame. Godfred Dame leading her in this case is a terrible engagement. It's a very terrible one. Look, there are other things that, as I said, I will hold my horses. But this is not on. Godfred Dami has to be disengaged. You see, for Godfred Dami, this case is also serving as a rehabilitation for him. You know, because of the terrible things he did in the Japa tape, he thinks by coming to court, wading into these conversations, and people talking about it, after a while, we will stop talking about the Japa tape. But it's a lie. We will not stop talking about that Japa tape until Godfred Dami is sanctioned by the... That is the Disciplinary Committee of the General Legal Counsel. So it's like that's the court where lawyers who breach their ethics are sanctioned. So once the tape has been admitted, the tape is been shown to be authentic, Godfred Dami must face justice for those things. So he thinks by taking on these cases and by being the center of public attention, comments, etc., very soon people will start talking about the tape. It won't stop. So he better just prepare to face justice. So this is what I can say in terms of the situation so far.
Looking at how the Supreme Court has dealt with the previous suits or petitions, so to speak, in relation to this subject matter, and then subsequently the suspension, the processes in all, do you think there's any merit in this current one at all by the Chief Justice herself?
Okay, so this has been asked, Mr. Walker, this one, you know, because of the issues of contempt. Right now, our society is doing better. We are commenting more. So we are narrowing down the borders of contempt. But this one is too direct. Too direct. So
you mean my question? My question is direct.
I say too direct, too near the contempt matters.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to say that. I don't think.
All right. So let me perhaps rephrase my question then, so that we make it more of a public discourse. If you take a look at the public opinion that seemed to have greeted, or the public opinion that had been elicited as a result of the last 3 dismissed cases in relation to the subject matter so far, why do you think the public opinion seemed not to favor the Chief Justice?
Okay, good. Yes, that's a brilliant question. You're a wise man. Good. Now, public opinion doesn't appear to favor her because of what people have read in the petitions, and most especially to you know, the case involving the Speaker of Parliament, Afenyomakin's case against the Speaker of Parliament. You know that case, when we analyzed it, we saw that the Chief Justice chairing the panel, presiding in that panel, rushed the case too much, that he raised too many suspicions. So you see, she lost a lot of, what do you call it, confidence. People lost a lot of confidence in her from the manner in which she treated the Speaker, the removal of the 4 parliamentarians case. That's Afenyomakin versus the Speaker case. So, you know, it just, and you see, even I think Shamima Muslim referred to it. There were parts of the case where she appeared too aggressive, etc. So that was the beginning of her fall. That's the beginning of the fall. Because you see, human beings, yes, the citizens may not be lawyers, but they are not stupid. They can see where you aggress a lawyer and do other things openly. You know, they tell that a picture is worth 1,000 words. They can see. They can see. So I think that is the case that, I mean, really is fueling the lot of public disfavor, the lot of lack of support for a cause. Because you saw the polls Musa Dankwa did, where 52% of Ghanaians said that she be removed, and only 18% opposed it. I think I checked the figure. Yeah, no more than 20.
53.
Now those who go ahead.
53%, and then about 20%. But however, he did say that among the MPP, the majority of them, by way of the respondents who are politically aligned to the MPP of the opposition, they over 80% or about 80%, so to speak.
Yes, that one is to be expected because, you know, look, let's not hide this. Appointment as Chief Justice is a political appointment, right? And politicians are known to choose their friends. Politicians don't choose their enemies generally. Generally, they don't choose enemies, okay? Or they don't choose neutrals generally, all right? So they will choose people they trust any day will have their back. So if 80% of the active MPP people think that she should not be removed, I understand. It's their opinion, so let's grant them. So as I mentioned, is the case, the speaker case and everything. So citizens have a right to also weigh in. So if they say they are not supporting it, it's unfortunate. It's a lesson to all of us that, hey, the power of the citizen, we have to be very careful. You may have all the power, but it's not every power you exercise. You see, like it's said in 1 Corinthians 6-12, there's that thing about all things, everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. So today you may have power over somebody, but you have to always think about tomorrow. So that when you're dealing with the person, be extremely, careful that, hey, this thing I'm doing today, is this person likely to, be affected negatively, and so I'm likely to pay for it tomorrow, Okay,
Mr. Pebu,
yeah.
The last one I'll ask you, there seemed to be the regurgitation or the re-echoing of her comment publicly when addressing, I think it was a women's event also, that the law is the law, irrespective of, she put it, the noises that will be made. Even though you have as much noise that will be made, that will be more appropriate. Don't you think that using that quote that she made to be the responsive argument for her not to challenge the ongoing processes is not fair to her?
Oh, absolutely, yes. So it's not fair to her to say that she shouldn't challenge the law. Yes, when she says the law is the law, yes, it also means that, yes, from time to time, if you think that, so when they do an interpretation that favors you, the meaning is that that interpretation was always part of the law, but we didn't know it. You see, the Constitution is language. You see, the Constitution is written this in the English language. Of course, you ask experts and they'll tell you the English language, like any other language, also has its limits. So it's not, you won't always find the perfect word for every situation. Yes, the English language has its own limits. It's not most languages, right? So all I'm saying is that, so you can't find the most perfect word for every situation in the Constitution. So certain phrases and terms in the Constitution don't look like they fit improper. So, and some to have hidden meanings. Yes, let's make this word. Especially the word fair in Article 19. Fair. It has a lot of hidden meanings. So what I'm saying is that the law is the law. So when the Supreme Court interprets the law or any other court, that new interpretation has always been part of that law. It's not new. So it's okay, let's challenge the system. But Mr. Walker, what we are working away with, is that our system, through this public debate, eventually will become stronger. The only thing is that in the short term, it's going to create a crisis of confidence, because you are talking about the Chief Justice. So, and then by extension, the judicial system. So it's going to, in the meantime, reduce confidence in the judicial system, because they'll be like, oh, can't we solve the situation? Can't we solve the situation? Why do I allow this to fester? That's what, for me, I keep saying that Chief Justice Tokono can help the system by resigning. It will be very beneficial. Yes, it will help us. So that, so that the fight, at least she's fought enough, there's been public debate enough, then, the system can begin to heal. All right.
Thank you very much. The quotation from, is it Corinthians? Please, I want to keep that. What's the quotation again? Do you remember?
Yes, 1 Corinthians 6-12, that area. Everything is permissible, but it's not everything that's beneficial. Everything is permissible. Yes, you have a right, but it's not everything that's beneficial. So sometimes you look at your right and say, no, I'll walk away because of the interest of the larger majority, the interest of the society, the public interest, I will forgo this my right.
All right.
So if Chief Justice Tokonu were to resign, that would be a good application of the principle.
I get your point, but thank you so much. Which church do you attend? Since you've been quoting, because the last time we had a public official quoting was Kenuforiata, Bibles on and on. So which church do you attend?
I'm a Catholic at St. Thomas Aquinas, University of Ghana.
All right.
I was here for Martin Pebuni attending Kano. Now the statement be bringing in our or say a year, CG Tokono. I are suspended on a year. So person buana ho. A boa Ghana funyina because as you speaking on Musa Dankwa analysis just say if I can call from investigation how doing no. Just 53% of Ghanaians say uncle. So kebi ya come resign. Nanko our system na free kakra because you see na kwa is wa hijack system no. Usha on pa tokono. Koda tokono. Udidia tokono. Anytime bia tokono. I just say hard so kebi ye pa ono di ekono kwa dia kama mitokono nyade resign nembo no ankasa mom because nipa na upese obedi omanim pray attention e mom no omuzo omompel omuso wonu ntimi mom attention majority of Ghanaians say omompel who say kofo obi aso lawyer so a obi a on fa attention nyehwe ebubu na ni gu niema so kululu niema mu asie pese ochi obi a wondi boni bia tum no ono na ase kofa no lawyer as obi o ya tentrini nyina Ghana fu nyina ya tentrini mobro afu nyina yini sufre ono wo atentrini nyina wura wo Ghana no wasa kofa obi we as lawyer pe Martin Pegu na nsem odi tu ya no just ya dia ya wura hosem because yensake we suspended I'll be to my side abeji wadwuma after the committee na probe some who say undi boni bia bit my sabe for wadwuma so ko fo bia as a lawyer obia ne leak audio ababontin so person ekululu katamu mwaso echi obi undi boni bia tum no ye ba be sanction no se nam kwan so Godfred am ye ba be sanction no for the sanity of the judiciary, you have a sanction a punishment. Say any power and obi a wo ye suspended chief justice akofa as lawyer. I say and the judge very very terrible. I just fire a CG to kono Godfred am ye pa. So Godfred am no ntina si o. Bibi akwa se edi attention me pa no so be manage ni din no ni nemu osusu cases ahodo na akrampo no kokrampa ye hu ni tinene nan na che se nyeme we wa state bra wo court room wa che se hu ni se fa kwa mumpo so no ntina se wo krampo no wo case a ye ba be punish so that entire na wo do ho na nam cases we mu. That's the reason why I am Martin people when you are catching say be ya CJ tokono ya the resign nem born no ankasa mo match say enya asenketo because as you speak I'm out for kase bimu arch say allegedly omo na say omanya case ni injunction case ni behind suit case ni behind akan omo kase cases are what Supreme Court ebugu there are a lot of in similar cases be woman what this CG a petition and as a far against the committee. There are similar cases be bread so one ye pie muso rem I just saying as so enyama corner bano who ye amagana obi pedebe kwa kwede kwa kudru now so you say majority of Ghanaians do na person CJ near the echo just without fever because some of you say want me my attention in the Ghana and without wasting my time na di Martin people episode say if say CJ we konji court in India. Can be on a name no. Can you court as a mo? If you say CGW or when you say Captain Trini Bia ni quarter kon nam shine so ko shine e seeking for justice. Think once a man phone ko ye cases I would do in na me mbon tungu. E man samba back and samba be file for another case. Going as when you saying a thing attention be pay for because it was alleged say my American say I be fighting with all just in BBR and when him so near Bonnie BR because I maintain his position. TB and Santo Quanizu near the who has a question and also be now fighting the president. That is the question. So Scarnation money I said in your bintia for once in Akroma.